Speaking of canceling, how about Netflix is canceling and they're making headlines? Some big time shows, Marvel Comics like The Punisher and Jessica Jones. People not happy, including Brandon Pope, who I was just talking to about this. Basically, this is a big deal because these are wildly popular Marvel Comics shows that Netflix is getting rid of, and they believe it's because Disney's offering their own streaming service here coming up very shortly, and that will be the home for these shows. So, they will come back,
go on,
just not on Netflix. So this led me to ask a bigger question, you guys. What are some TV show cancellations, present or in the past, that really had you up in arms?
It's just crazy how you get attached to these shows like that. I mean, and it's obviously a business, which is why they're canceling these shows. But it's interesting. You tell us first.
I got a couple. You know, the business we work in, APN TV, obviously, there's the show Aaron Sorkin had, which debuted in 2014, called The Newsroom. And it showed basically what life was like inside a newsroom, pretty aptly named. And it touched on, you know, very heavy political themes, covering wars, covering politics. Jeff Daniels was the lead in that. It was a incredibly entertaining show that only had a 3-year run. And now they're in a position where, given everything going on with our current president and how the journalists cover that, they think the show may come back, which would be really cool.
That would be good. I watched the first 2 seasons of that show, and it stopped watching, and then I guess it just got canceled too. I didn't realize it was really canceled.
Yeah, so it got canceled. And the other show just got canceled yesterday, which I was really upset about, on Netflix. It's Friends After College.
And that's really popular now.
Super popular. It's a great show. I'm telling you guys, go watch it. There's only 2 seasons. That's all it'll be. It has star power like Keegan-Michael Key, you see right there. Fred Savage from The Wonder Years coming back and going mainstream here. Chloe Smolders from How I Met Your Mother. And it was a take on basically life as a young adult, some married with kids, some going through divorce, some just trying to find their way. It was a smart, and it was an incredibly funny show, and it's over.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
What about you, Carly?
So have you guys ever seen Happy Endings? Oh my gosh, it's so good. It takes place in Chicago. It's about a group of friends, and it was one of the funniest, like most well-written shows on TV. I loved it so much.
Yeah, that was Damon Wayans' son.
I was going to say,
and he is hilarious. Like, he started off or actually, no, his wife, she started off being really neurotic, and then they made her character really funny, and it was so good. I was so heartbroken that it was canceled. A lot of people are really upset that it was canceled. It was given a really bad time slot, so it got lower ratings than it should have, but I really did have a cult following, and it was called one of the worst decisions in TV history to cancel that show, and I couldn't agree more. I loved it. I still am always secretly wishing that they would revive it, but of course, everyone's gone on to have all these other awesome careers. The other one that I want to talk about is Broad City. You guys know I've talked about this before. It is my favorite show on TV currently. It's in its last season right now. It's about Abby and Alana, 2 girls just kind of making their way through New York City, and it's just so fun. It's like scrappy New York.
I gotta check this out. You talk about it all the time.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Jordan, I think you would, well, it's a female show. I don't know if you like it. I love this show.
Jordan loves female shows.
I know.
Those are my favorite shows.
Oh, you do? No, I don't mean like it's a girly show. I just mean it's all about these 2 girls. Maybe you would like it. I don't know.
How many seasons has that been on?
It's in its 5th season right now. It's the final season. The 2 girls who star in it and were the creators of it decided to pull the plug themselves. At least that's what they've been saying in interviews. And I actually am okay with it being canceled. I love it so much. I sort of wish it would go on forever, but you know what happens when shows go on for seasons past 5 seasons? I almost don't want it to get bad, so I'm just gonna love it for right now and then keep watching the seasons over and over.
Felicia, you're up.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 seasons. That's a good run.
This one is a gem, though. If you like comedy shows, you will like it.
Yeah. So mine is Underground. Underground came on WGN America for 2 seasons. It was 2016, 2017, and it had Journey Smollett-Bell, and it also had Aldous Hodge that you just saw there, the ever handsome Aldous Hodge. But it was produced by John Legend. WGN, you know, they got bought by Sinclair, and execs say that it just didn't fit with their new strategy. They said it cost too much. It cost $5 million an episode, about $5 million an episode to make, and they were trying to see if they could get a home for it on BET or OWN. So it got good ratings. I think it could have gotten even better ratings because people get somewhat frustrated with the whole slave narrative. But this was not like a typical slavery show or anything. It was focusing on the abolitionists and the people who were trying to push for freedom during the civil Civil War era, right before it, I guess. And Harriet Tubman was a character on there, and it was just really cool. It was action-packed, like it wasn't your typical like Hollywood slave documentary story or anything. Anywho, I
Was
hate
it
it
on
got
recently?
canceled.
Did you say when it was on?
It was 2016, 2017.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 seasons. It was good.
You know what
It
the
was
theme
really
is with
good.
all these shows? We're very passionate, collectively in our own right for each show.
Yeah.
But we're also not very aware of them outside of the one we like. So
Well,
the one
there's
you like.
so many.
But the reason
There's
I
so
think
many.
that's why maybe these shows get canceled is there's a
Yeah.
passionate base, but they haven't hit mainstream. Like
Yeah.
we're not all three like, love that show.
I know.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I think
There's
that's
just
kinda
so many options.
what
I
happens.
feel like TV is better than movies these days. There's just so many great options.
Yeah, very true. All right, so if you scrolled through Twitter lately, which I'm sure you have, because that's what we do nowadays, gather our news sources, you might have seen your feed full of people arguing over towels, and it started with this basic question. Take a look right here, everybody. Hello, fellow adults. My girlfriend and I have a question. What's the correct amount of towels to own? I said 10. She looked at me like I was crazy. We have zero frame of reference on the appropriate amount of towels in a household of 2. So the question was asked, and the responses, they flooded in,
How
everybody.
is this a thing?
Naturally. So here are some of the answers right here. I think we got 6 or 7 towels. Mr. Moore,
That's it?
not quite sure. Answer number 2, because there was a million of them. Lizzie O'Leary had a nice breakdown for you. 6 nice big towels, some hand towels, some fancy towels, some washcloths.
Lizzie got deets.
It's true. You have the gross towels, and you also have the just in case backup towels. You gotta love that. So
Okay.
everybody is genuinely confused about how many towels you should have. As I think about this, I can't think off the top of my head. I'd say probably 15 towels we have.
Okay.
I think
Really?
I think
That's a
there's
lot.
some fancy ones. There's some ones for show, which I guess were the fancy ones. There's some for
When
the
people
dog
come
on a
over.
rainy day when
Yeah.
it gets muddy. There's your utility towel. Then there's the ones you use all the time.
Yeah.
I think we're probably at about 15 towels.
I
Yeah.
cannot believe this is a real discussion, but I'll weigh in.
Was that a
But-
turn?
I don't know. I'm just dramatic sometimes.
Sometimes, she says.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. So I have like 2 huge U-Haul boxes of towels in addition to the towels that we already use. Like I think I think I have a towel problem.
Yeah.
Why do you have so many?
definitely-
So?
Yeah.
Wait, the issue is none of them match, so that's the even bigger problem. But I have like just all these boxes of towels, and I feel like you don't throw towels away. So where do you take towels that you
I
don't
feel like
use
this is-
anymore?
I
I
really
feel like we're having a Carly scratch her head moment on one of these.
Gary,
where do
no,
you
she
take
just
towels
said
that you
something
don't
where I was
want?
like, I really like mismatched towels. I do not have a complete set of
And Carly
towels.
steals. That was weird. Hey, hold my beer. I've got weird.
Let me bring it on back.
No,
in the
no, this is
weirdness
my
department.
realm.
No, I really do. I like mismatched towels and I like mismatched mugs. I like opening the closet where I keep them and being like, which one do I feel like
That
today?
sounds stressful.
Currently, the purple one's my favorite.
That sounds stressful,
I've
Carly.
never felt more normal at the desk as I do right now. So you have
I'll
a
make you
U-Haul
feel
proof
like
of
that
that.
every day, Jordan. Don't worry.
I feel like this definitely should have been on a wedding registry, because then we would have had a nice set of towels and we could have like gotten rid of. But where do you take
I
towels?
would get so bored with just a nice set of towels, though.
Well, is there?
I'm gonna Google this.
Like,
But like, where do you take used towels?
Oh,
'Cause
I know. You can take them to an animal shelter. They always need towels or blankets that are used.
so smart.
Take them there.
You
yeah,
wanted to
because
be in that
puppies,
high
a
five.
lot
No, I
of them just
actually did.
a lot of them are just laying on like a cold floor or a cold cage, so that really would improve their lives.
Thank you.
So is there anything
point.
else that you feel like in your everyday, in your household, that's something else that you probably have an abundance of that you don't need? Is towels kind of that one?
Yeah, my husband's clothes. I've been trying to get rid of
gosh.
those for about
See,
2-3
this
years
is a
now.
whole nother dialogue. We maybe should have this in the next hour or tomorrow. Like
That's too many.
guys and the lack of real estate for their clothing. It's
He
absurd.
has about 85 T-shirts. He has like more T-shirts
Yeah.
than he would
And I
ever could
guarantee
ever
you
It's a
wear.
have
thing.
triple the amount of real
It's a
estate.
thing. Just accept it.